All right. I suppose it's time. It's time to talk about the big man finally reaping what he has sowed, I suppose. You love to see it. So there's been quite the schism going on in, I suppose, MAGA world amongst the Republican Party. And it's all about the Jeffrey Epstein files. A lot of people getting mad at Pam Bondi. A lot of people getting mad at Kash Patel and Dan Bongino. But we'll get to the two baby boys. Our bug-eyed, I don't know, our bug-eyed Brahmin boy, and also our I don't know, roid raging Italian. But what's the big man? What's the big man here got to say?
What's going on with my boys, and in some cases gals? They're all going after Attorney General Pam Bondi, who is doing a fantastic job.
Okay, keep in mind, Pam Bondi was Attorney General of Florida when she was handling probably the Epstein's case in the state of Florida. Not to mention, I think it's Jim Acosta, who was also the Attorney General before of Florida, who could have handled the Epstein fucking case. When he was in power during his first fucking administration, he decided to bring him into his administration. Now, you may be wondering, why was he fucking doing that? Oh, because he was afraid of anything potentially leaking out of potentially leaking out about like the Epstein files while he's in power, and there would be a lot more people looking into that. So he wanted to try to cover that up for as long and as much as possible. Like, it's not crazy. Like, Epstein died during Trump's first term. Epstein got convicted during Trump's first term. If honestly, if you think like there's nothing else that's going on besides like a cover up, and also like the 1 minute of video that was like supposedly edited out, didn't the metadata of that video say, or like that got cut out? The metadata within the video itself that was cut out of when Jeffrey Epstein was being filmed constantly and then he ended up dead. We know what happened, okay? Like, it got proven to have been cut. People found it in the data, and bro, like, we know, dude. Like, metadata of Jeffrey Epstein video. Metadata shows the FBI's raw Jeffrey Epstein prison video was likely modified. Like, we know. Like, this is like a fucking slam dunk. Like, during that 1 fucking minute, he ended up, like, doing the deed, getting rid of him, like, killing himself, basically. In a Because, again, you need to ask yourself this for, like, literally 3 seconds, alright? Bro was in a federal maximum security state prison, okay? He was in a maximum security state prison, okay? How would he have fucking killed himself, right? Which is why it's just like, okay, either it was a hit or someone fucking told him to do it, alright? And you're telling me that the video that was constantly surveilling him while he was in his fucking cell, there was the video there. There was a convenient fucking 1 minute cut, and then after that 1 minute cut, he ends up fucking dead on the floor. It's just like, stop the cap. There's some fucking bullshit going on here. Like, and now we're trying to do like a fucking cover up for this shit. Like, come on, bro. It is incredible just how poorly the Trump administration is handling this sort of like Epstein file case, because honestly, like, if there is one thing that is going to sink this administration, it is this stuff. It's almost as if maybe it was a bad idea to make this like a campaign promise and try to just like bury it for as long as possible. Trump, I don't know, it like, it seems kind of like intuitive, silly. I'm not really sure, like, what else to say about this besides, like, they really, really, really bungled this stuff.
We're on one team, MAGA, and I don't like what's happening. We have a perfect administration, the talk of the world, and selfish people are trying to hurt it. all over a guy who never dies, Jeffrey Epstein.
Dude, because it's pretty clear that you're trying to do a cover-up. Also, like, I don't think it's an aide who wrote this. I think it's the big man himself who wrote this. Like, the random capitalizations, all the not expletives, but the random sort of punctuation all over the place and stuff like that. It is definitely... He definitely wrote this. He definitely wrote... I think he's afraid. He's terrified. He knows that this can really potentially bring a huge split between that and Elon potentially threatening to build a new party. And now he might lose all the conspiracy people that he had in his, like, really fraught, fraying coalition. And also all the, sort of, like, migrants that he also, helped court as well. He's going to lose a lot of people, and he's plummeting in the polls. This is not a good look for him. He's afraid of potentially losing a lot of power here.
For years it's Epstein, over and over again. Why are we giving publicity to files written by Obama, crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, and the losers and criminals of the Biden administration who conned the world with the Russia hoax, the 51 intelligence agencies, the laptop from hell, and more?
Dude, he's just fucking crashing out, man. He's just losing it. He's fucking losing it. He can't, like... He's afraid that he's honestly going to potentially get, his administration's going to start falling apart, right? Like, we all know about the first Donald Trump administration. Like, there was constant people just, like, leaving the administration, like, joining, leaving. He had, like, so many people that, like, were not in necessary positions of power that needed to be filled out. He just had no one there, and those, like, functions were just not done to the state. Like, it's crazy how much the potential coalition is going to be fraught. Like, first it was like migrants realizing that they got fucking duped by Trump saying like, oh, we're gonna go after the illegals. It wasn't actually the illegals the whole time. That was a lie. Elon Musk and the tech bros also being like really mad about the passing of the one big beautiful bill. No one liking that fucking bill, sort of also in general. And now he's gonna lose probably a lot of like core people in his base, which are like huge, annoying, like conspiracy heads. Another part of the coalition is going to be lost. Like this is potentially like really damaging, and I think that's like the main reason why he's scared. Because the people who believe like the QAnon types, the super big conspiracy guys, those guys thought Trump was like the main guy who was going to bring in the storm and arrest all the pedophiles who were like harvesting adrenochrome and shit like that. And now he's like doing cover up for one of the like king of the pedophiles, Jeffrey fucking Epstein. This is not a good look. This is really, really bad for him. He's afraid. These are core constituents of him, are like QAnon types and conspiracy people guys, and they're going to potentially start leaving him. Not good. It's not good.
They created the Epstein files, just like they created the fake Hillary Clinton / Christopher Steele dossier that they used on me. And now my so-called friends are playing right into their hands.
I don't think it's like, dude, you are aware that the Epstein files would also implicate a bunch of fucking Democrats, right? This isn't just like, why would they want to like write and not cover up any of the stuff that like Bill Clinton did with like Jeffrey Epstein when he's also probably like clearly probably within the Epstein files? Like we all know like what it's like. I think her name was it's Nancy Pelosi's daughter named Christy Pelosi saying like, well guys, some of our faves are kind of probably in the files, and it's just like, I mean, I have no reason to doubt that. Probably there are a bunch of like Democratic politicians who more than likely also had sussy shit to do with Jeffrey Epstein. I don't think that's like ridiculous to say.
Why didn't these radical left lunatics release the Epstein files?
Because again, there's people in there within the Democratic Party, specifically Bill Clinton, who would be implicated by the Epstein files.
Why didn't these radical left lunatics release Epstein files? If there was anything in there that could have hurt the MAGA movement, why didn't they use it?
Because there's people in there that would have implicated the Democrats as well. So they don't, like, a lot of, like, centrist, more deep state fucking Democrats don't want anything to do with this. And there's, like, basically there's, like, two types of Democrats that are being implicated in here. The more sort of, like, deep state affiliated, like, Israel supporting Democrats, broadly speaking, like your Chuck Schumers of the world, Nancy Pelosi's, a lot of your more senior fucking Democrats, and a lot more of the younger Democrats who don't have these exact types of connections, like AOC and like I was gonna say like Bernie Sanders, but I mean Bernie Sanders is a little different. He's just like an independent dude. He just does his own thing. Yeah, there's a lot of people who don't like. Who are also implicated with Jeffrey Epstein on both sides of the aisle. Like, that's not, like, ridiculous to say.
They haven't even given up on the JFK or Martin Luther King Jr. files. No.
It gets cut off here. God damn it. That's not the full post. Curse you, Aaron Rupar. But yeah, he's terrified, dude. It's like, it's insane. Like, I don't like what else. Like, I don't even know what else I'm supposed to say here besides, dude, he's crashing out. He's crashing out. And now we have what? Kash Patel and Dan Bongino tell America that Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide, which is probably true, but it was a coerced suicide. More than likely, someone probably gave him the tools to kill himself, and they said like, "Listen, we'll cut off the cameras because again." The metadata says that the FBI's raw prison video was likely modified, right? They probably did the deed and then cut it out. More than likely. There's like no other way to like spin this. They cut it out. 1000%. Like you're telling me a random 1-minute video is just missing for like no reason in like a federal max security state prison? There's no like I'm calling bullshit on that. There's no way. And again, Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, these two super conspiratorially minded people who came up by pushing a lot of like idiotic conspiracy theories, whether it be about Jeffrey Epstein or like adrenochrome and all this other like QAnon related fucking bullshit, are working with one of the dudes who has, you know, who has like affiliations with Jeffrey Epstein, has done multiple interviews of fawning about the guy. There's photos of them together, like footage from the Fire and Fury podcast talking about with Jeffrey Epstein saying like, yeah, I was like Donald Trump's closest friend for like 10 years. And you're telling me that guy doesn't have any affiliations with fucking Jeffrey Epstein? Like, come on, dude. Like, there's no fucking way. Like, just stop the cap. And now they want to try to do cover up for it? It's funny, dude.
You said Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. People don't believe it.
Well, I mean, listen, they have a right to their opinion, but as someone who has worked as a public defender, as a prosecutor, who's been in that prison system, who's been in the Metropolitan Detention Center, who's been in segregated housing, you know a suicide when you see one, and that's what that was.
He killed himself. You want me to get, I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
I know it's hard work.
I mean, yeah, because again, more than likely, people gave him the tools in order to do the deed at this point, from like what we understand from the metadata. Like, come on, man. But now, like, again, look at this. Kash Patel now considering quitting if Pam Bondi stays, because again, like, Pam Bondi said she was going to release the information, and now she decided to get fucking cold feet. We saw the initial video of that cabinet meeting where Donald Trump was saying, like, you guys are still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? Why are you talking about that loser? It's like, man, this is crazy, bro. Like, they're trying to do cover up for it. It's not looking good, dude. Yeah, like I've been saying, it's a very fragile fucking administration. It's ridiculous, right? Like, but you love to see it, the conservative cope and infighting. You love to see it. A source close to the DOJ says Kash Patel wants Pam Bondi gone and may resign if Dan Bongino leaves. Again, Dan Bongino was the first guy who said he wanted to leave. Well, mostly because he also complained about how much work he has to do. Damn, it's almost as if, to do an actual job is very tough, and to be like a dumbass conspiracy podcast host is actually like really fucking easy. Who would have thought? The same source says frustration is growing over other Epstein documents Bondi hasn't released. Bongino has already made it clear he won't stay at the FBI if Bondi stays at the DOJ. You love to see it. Oh, yeah, 1000% Boy Meets Minnie. Like, glass cannon and all that, more often than not will hurt themselves and people around them. This is just, like, conservatism in general. It's ridiculous. And now we have, like, other pundits talking about this stuff. What do we got Tucker Carlson here? Jeffrey Epstein was running a blackmail operation on behalf of a foreign government, Israel. Now, Jeffrey Epstein... Now, I don't, like, necessarily... Like, there's, like, the whole Jeffrey Epstein is Mossad kind of a deal. Jeffrey Epstein was an information broker, right? That was his main shtick, is to just have information on powerful people, which means he definitely had ties to intelligence agencies. Like... we're doing some, like, potential Zog, anti-Semitic conspiracism over here, but, like, what's the big man got to say here?
Not acceptable. And I think the real answer is Jeffrey Epstein was working on behalf of intel services, probably not American. And we have every right to ask on whose behalf was he working. How does a guy go from being a math teacher at the Dalton School in the late 70s with no college degree to having multiple airplanes, a private island, and the largest residential house in Manhattan? Where did all the money come from? And no one...
Again, yeah, he was an information broker, right? Quite literally. That was his job. He was the guy who, gathers info and blackmail material on basically everybody, so that if someone decides to rock the boat too much, again, this is like, it's fucked up to say, but this is like billionaire fucking class solidarity, right? Gather a bunch of fucking bullshit on each other, have one guy be the main dude who fucking holds all that info, because in case someone decides to step out of line, you drop the info on them and you fucking ruin them. That's kind of the point, right?
No one has ever gotten to the bottom of that because no one has ever tried. And moreover, it's extremely obvious to anyone who watches that this guy had direct connections to a foreign government. Now, no one's allowed to say that foreign government is Israel because we have been somehow cowed into thinking that that's naughty. There is no...
Again, we have no evidence to say that Jeffrey Epstein was doing any of this on behalf of Israel. Like, there's no evidence to say that. He's had connections with Mossad, yes, but he's also had connections with other intelligence agencies, specifically like the FBI and the CIA. This is like a sort of like broader general sort of thing. Like, this isn't like just an Israel specific thing. But again, Tucker Carlson is, well, a Nazi. And he's willing to sort of like sprinkle in the, anti-Semitic conspiracism. Because again, Nazi.
Nothing wrong with saying that. There's nothing hateful about saying that. There's nothing anti-Semitic about saying that. There's nothing even anti-Israel about saying that. I've spent my entire life pretty much in Washington, where I knew and loved a number of people, including one very close person who worked at CIA. That has never prohibited me from saying, I think the CIA has done some horrible things. Murdered a bunch of people, participated in the murder of a sitting U.S. president. It's got a whole trail of crimes. That doesn't make me a disloyal American. It doesn't make me anti-American in any sense. I was born here. My family's been here for hundreds of years. I love this country. That's why I live here. So criticizing the behavior of a government agency does not make you a hater. It makes you a free person. It makes you a citizen. You're allowed...
Yeah, but you're kind of doing the whole, like, conflationary bit. There's still, zero evidence to say that, like, Jeffrey Epstein was a part of Mossad. That's just, like, this is not the case, right? He had connections to them because, again, like, he had connections, yes, because he was an information dude. He was meant to be the guy who gathers information on really, really powerful people so they all have blackmail material on one another. That was the point. Yeah, but again, expecting consistency from, like, I don't know, a conspiratorial freak like Tucker Carlson is just like, that's not gonna fucking happen, right?
Allowed to do that because you're not a slave, you're a citizen. And you have a right to expect that your government will not act against your interests, and you have a right to demand that foreign governments not be allowed to act against your interests. That's not creepy. It shouldn't be forbidden. And yet all of us have trained ourselves to believe that you can't say that somehow. That that's like too naughty and forbidden. And the effect of making that off limits has been to create a lot of resentment, and I'll say it, hate online. Where people feel like they can't just say, like, what the hell is this? You have the former Israeli prime minister living in your house. You have all this contact with the foreign government. Were you working on behalf of Mossad? Were you running a blackmail operation on behalf of foreign government? By the way, every single person in Washington, D.C. thinks that. I've never met anyone who doesn't think that. I don't know anyone that hate Israel, but no one feels they can say that. Why? And I think the longer that we play along with it...
Because, again, like, it's a lot of, like, just general vague gesturing. Like what something specifically, Tucker. That's the problem, right? It's all the fucking like vague gesturing to sort of like point to like a sort of like ulterior boogeyman that the Israel is the one controlling the annals of Congress or whatever, when that's just not the truth, right? It's all just like a complete like conspiracy theory that he's just trying to gin up in order to justify hate crimes, to be honest.
The more subterranean and creepy and hateful the conversation actually becomes. So I think it's better just to say it right out loud. Did this happen? And of course that question has been asked to the government of Israel, and their answer is we're not going to tell you. And I think our answer should be, no. As long as we're sending you money, if you were committing crimes on our soil, we have an absolute right to know, did you do this or not? And yet everybody has been so brainwashed into thinking that's somehow an expression of hate or bigotry, when it's not. It's a baseline question that every U.S. citizen has a right to an answer on.
Well, because you're doing the whole conflationary bit, Tucker. Like, that's what you're doing. You're doing the fucking conflation thing, which is why people are saying it's fucking hateful, you freak. It is not ridiculous. Like, you literally said that Jeffrey Epstein probably worked for Mossad, when there's just no evidence to suggest that he worked for Mossad. He has connections to them, but he has connections to, like, every other fucking intelligence agency. Because, again, what was his job? He was an info guy, meant to keep info on really powerful people, so they have material on one another, just to make sure that they stay in line. That's the point.
What the hell was this? And by the way, if it turns out that it was nothing...
Okay, well, you know, Tucker Carlson being an anti-Semite aside. Now we got Alex Jones filming a car video. What do we got here?
So now, by coming in and being part of the cover-up, the Trump administration has become part of it. I mean, it's just you cannot see it any other way. So I just got to the office. I'm going to go.
Well, you know, I guess good job for Alex Jones inevitably coming to this fucking conclusion, even though he was a part of the cover-up like 8 years ago. Like, come on, dude. He's the one who appointed Jim Acosta into the administration, quite literally. He was the one who fucking got Jeffrey Epstein fucking convicted for his crimes when no one else got him fucking convicted at all. He was the one, you know, who had, like, probably Jeffrey Epstein and probably killed, okay? There's no evidence to say that he's the one who ultimately pulled the trigger on that one. None whatsoever. But he definitely, like, knew that Jeffrey Epstein had a bunch of fucking shit on him. Like, there's no other way to fucking look at that any other way. And again, the Democrats didn't release anything on any of that stuff because they know that they're also implicated. They know they have people in there that are also in the Epstein file. So they're just like, yeah, we're just gonna put the kibosh on this and just, like, not really care about it. Like, if Republicans want to do, like, a bunch of conspiratorial nonsense. And I mean, again, we've seen the videos before. Jeffrey Epstein called him his closest friend for, like, 10 years. Had, like, 14 different ways to be able to fucking contact Donald Trump. He also, like, has talked and done interviews in tandem with, like, Jeffrey Epstein. Said he's, like, a good guy and stuff like that. And you people are, like, shocked that, like, the Trump administration and Trump himself more than likely wanted this shit to be fucking covered up. Like, come on. Come on.
Throw up, actually. And this only happens every few years when something really, really bad happens or something. I mean, I'm physically going to puke probably right now. My mouth is watering right now. It's because I have integrity. And, you know.
He has integrity, guys. Dude. Bro, you're the one who fucking defended Palantir, dude. You will literally defend anything from Donald Trump, and this is the one thing that finally Okay, whatever.
I just really need the Trump administration to succeed and to save this country. They're doing so much good. And then for them to do something like this, tears my guts out. Man.
He doesn't care at all about the one big beautiful bill that's mostly going to fuck over his listeners and viewers. Doesn't give a shit about any of that stuff at all. No, he's doing a lot of good stuff, folks. Yeah, that's right. It's really good. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's excellent, folks. Let me tell you, we're doing a great job. President Trump's gonna root out the deep state pedophiles. He's gonna get Jeffrey Epstein. He's gonna get him. Let me tell you, folks. I don't know. Maybe we should give the ultimate fell for it again award to Alex Jones. I don't know. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
You know, the left, they're all complicit. They're openly promoting pedophilia. We know they're pure evil. And they'll think it's all funny. Oh, look, Alex is sad. MAGA's tearing itself apart. Your globalist masters literally want you to eat bugs and live in a 5G, 200 square foot coffin apartment. Look at the left. Look at them all posing with their Pfizer shots, looking like
Klaus Schwab.
You guys are sick. And so you shouldn't look at those of us that have a soul still, have integrity, in pain over this and celebrate, you dumb pieces of fucking shit.
mean? People on the left have been constantly saying this for years, dude. You're the one who did the fucking cover up, and all the fucking all the fucking cover up and bullshit in order to justify Donald Trump's actions this whole time. Why are you blaming us for this? Like, what do you mean you're blaming the fucking left? Come on, what the fuck is this? Yeah, he's crashing out. He's mad, dude. He's mad. He's sad. You know, he's going through a roller coaster of emotions right now. You know, it's you know, you hate to see it from a former goat, you know, a former conspiracy goat. How he has so fallen, dude. You're the one who fucking, after going on the Zemp, decided to try to give as big of a gluck as possible to Donald Trump and defended him for like literally every action possible. Like, it's incredible, man. But you know, no shit. God, I can't do any of this stuff. Fuck. I have to defend Trump as hard as possible and lose any fucking integrity that I might have had ever before.
You're going against your own self-preservation, serving this evil globalist system in BlackRock and the New World Order and Hakeem Jeffries and all the rest of it. So I'm just processing this right now. I don't know on what planet Trump is doing all this good stuff in the real world and still being demonized by the corporate media. And constant lies. Like, oh, there was no weather alert for flash floods in Texas by the National Weather Service. It was the day before, and over 500 times. It's just constant lies. I need to defend Trump. He's being lied about. And then this type of shit happens. I don't even know what to say. I mean, it's just, it's beyond insane. You couldn't try to hurt yourself worse. You couldn't try to discredit the FBI worse than what they've done. Pam Bondi, all of it. All those videos are saying, yeah, she's seen the videos. It's all coming out. And then now it doesn't exist. I mean, what? What? Damn it. 11 a.m. today, I'll be covering it. And no matter where this information goes, I'll always report the truth.
Wait, I thought Liberty Day was on April when Donald Trump did all those tariffs. What happened? Well, what happened? What happened to the Liberty? I thought people were free now or something. Like, I want people to, broadly speaking, understand, like, this is, again, Trump reaping and sowing his actions. Like, this was inevitably gonna fucking happen. Trump being completely full of shit the whole time. Whoa. And wanted absolutely nothing to be uncovered from the fucking Jeffrey Epstein files the whole time because his dumbass knows that he is implicated in that. I don't know, like, color me surprised, color me shocked, but this is me not being surprised by any of this whatsoever. Like, yeah, of course, the dude was friends with fucking Epstein. This has always been a known factor, and you motherfuckers are now completely shocked and dismayed and surprised about these, well, facts? Whoa, crazy! Color me surprised. I'm dismayed that, like, I don't know, Alex Jones is now recognizing that he's been duped this whole time. Yeah, it's really insane to just see this, like, complete just this, like, I was gonna say capitulation. That's not the correct term. It's really just insane just to see this sort of fraying, this fraud. Like I've been mentioning earlier. A big part of Trump's core base and core part of his coalition are QAnon types, like just complete right-wing freak, like gone down the conspiracy rabbit hole type people. And again, this was like their magnum opus. They wanted to have these, like, the Epstein files for like forever, dude. Forever. Like, for the longest time ever. And nothing? You get nothing out of it. Like, why are you people shocked and surprised? He was never gonna fucking release any of that stuff. We already knew that he was probably implicated within the Epstein files. Why do you think, again, Jim Acosta was Attorney General of Florida. Same with Pam Bondi. Could have prosecuted Jeffrey Epstein. Didn't, and then became a part of, well, Trump's administration. That's a little weird. He got convicted under Trump's administration. He killed himself under Trump's administration. And you people are, like, shocked and surprised that they're still trying to fucking cover all this shit up. Honestly, like I said before, the real unforced error was the fact that Trump said he was going to fucking release this stuff. Like, that at that point, it's just like he's now completely shooting himself in the foot. Because, again, he's implicated. He's in there. He knows he's in there. Like, even when he said during that, ABC interview, saying, like, they went through like the the list of files that he was gonna like release. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna release that. They get to the Epstein files. He's like,
Yeah. Well, maybe I don't really know. Like, there's like some really sussy stuff in there.
and you didn't clue into that. You people didn't clue into that. But then again, like I said before, it's just a cult with these people. They believe in nothing. They have to go along with everything, like Dear Leader says. But I've talked about like the sort of like MAGA fraying and I don't know, sort of infighting now that's going on here. But the Democrats also have potential ways to take advantage of this. Now, there's like I mentioned earlier, there's two types of Democrats. There's like your more sort of deep state establishment Democrats who want absolutely nothing to do with the fucking Epstein files because they know people in there are fucking implicated. And honestly, it's very politically efficacious right now in order to rake the Republicans and Donald Trump over the coals for this complete bungling of what they did with the Epstein files. But they're not going to do it because, again, that would implicate probably a bunch of them and a bunch of their faves as well. We know about like the Christy Pelosi tweet saying like, guys, a bunch of our faves may be in there. But, people like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez don't have those shackles. And this is the other type of people who don't have those as deep state fucking connections to, like, I don't know, differing sort of, like, groups within the state apparatus of America. But what do we got here? Wow, who would have thought that electing a rapist would have complicated the release of the Epstein files? Whoa, who would have thought that that could have happened? John Ossoff, who I believe has a race in Georgia. This is going to make him look really good. Did anyone really think the sexual predator president who used to party with Jeffrey Epstein was going to release the Epstein files? This is good rhetoric right here. This is, again, rake him over the fucking coals. Georgia, bit of a swing state, right? He's got to defend his seat. This is going to make him look really good. And again, John Ossoff, very young, doesn't have the exact same connections within Congress as compared to like a Chuck Schumer or Nancy Pelosi or a lot of these like more APAC affiliated Democrats. Like, and we'll get to one of the arch APAC affiliated Democrats very, very soon. But what's my man got to say here?
President Trump promised to end the wars.
True.
He promised to release the Epstein files.
Got a big cheer.
Did anyone really think the sexual predator president who used to party with Jeffrey Epstein was going to release the Epstein files?
This is going to be effective, man. This is going to be really effective. Younger, more progressive Democrats are going to be able to easily use this to just like beat people over the head with this in their races. It's I'm telling you, dude, this is good rhetoric. This is going to come up in the midterms. This is making, again, like we saw Trump's whole post about this. He looks incredibly weak. Looks so bad for him. He is afraid. He's super scared. It's insane, dude.
President.
I'm telling you. But, we got Richie Torres, our big baby man, our favorite dude. What does he have to say here? The Epstein controversy is a distraction, and that there was no need for an investigation. I wonder why Richie Torres, one of, Israel's strongest defenders, might be saying this. I couldn't think of anything in particular for as to why he may be saying this. It's actually fucking insane, dude. Like, again, yeah, Jeffrey Epstein did die by suicide. But again, how did he acquire the tools in order to commit suicide? You can make an inference. There's no evidence of this, of course, right? But the metadata showing that the raw Epstein prison video was likely modified is pretty fucking damning, dude. Like, this isn't obviously wholeheartedly, completely conclusive, but Not a good case in terms of what that dumbass Richie Torres is gonna say. But again, you know, bro's got to make sure he gets his APAC bucks as much as possible. So, you know, gotta do everything possible in order to defend the honor of Israel, and then not do something that's incredibly popular and just, I don't know, rake the Republicans over the coals about the Epstein files. He wants to talk about how this is a fucking distraction, that you don't need to do an investigation. Buddy, like, I don't know, like, focus on, like, trying to give $20 more trillion to Israel or some shit. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro.
Can we be clear that the Epstein controversy is a distraction of Donald Trump's own making? That he was fanning the flames of the...
I don't understand. Like, why would he want to, like, distract about this when he knows he'd be one of the most implicated people within the Epstein files, right? Again, the only reason why he wanted to bring up the Epstein files to begin with is to get something to have one of his main core constituencies of his base excited to want to vote for him, and that is, like, crazed, like, QAnon conspiracy theorists. Like, that was the point. That's why he said he wanted to release the fucking Epstein files, and then, you know, he recognized, like, ah, shit, I probably shouldn't have said that. Fuck.
Of the Epstein conspiracy theory during the campaign, and so now he's essentially an arsonist pretending to be a firefighter, and there was no need for an investigation. The medical examiner had investigated the matter and found that Epstein died by suicide.
I wonder why he's saying all of this in particular. I couldn't possibly think of any particular reasoning as to why Richie Torres is saying any of this stuff. I couldn't think of anything. Again, you know, you got to make sure he gets as much APAC bucks as possible, because, again, we all know that Jeffrey Epstein had connections to Israeli intelligence. We know this. Did he work directly for them? No. But, again, Richie Torres wants to be like a complete not Republican. I mean, he's effectively a Republican. He just wants to be a complete, like, Democratic establishment shill, to be honest. He has ties to a lot of, you know, moneyed interests that would potentially be heavily implicated to, you know, the Epstein files, and that is a problem for him. So he has to, like, trot himself out in order to defend and just be like, well, this is like a complete distraction. Who cares about the Epstein files? Yeah, it's a complete nonsense. Like, what do you mean? It's just like, because his analogy doesn't even make any fucking sense. An arsonist that's trying to play firefighter? Like, what the fuck do you mean by this? Like, cat's been out of the bag for that one already, Richie. The fire's already been raging for, like, multiple decades at this point on this one. He ain't gonna try to put that out. Like, that's not fucking happening. It was going to always be like this. Because he was never going to release any of that information. But, like, again, maybe Richie Torres himself gets implicated in the fucking Epstein files for some reason. Maybe that's why he's doing this defense. Maybe Richie Torres is in the Epstein files. Maybe.
The same conclusions were drawn by the Bureau of Federal Prisons. There was no need for a new investigation unless the purpose was to legitimize a conspiracy theory.
Was to legitimize a conspiracy theory. Yeah, sure, man. Totally. Again, Republicans, fell for it again award. You guys were never going to get any of the information that you ever wanted from Jeffrey fucking Epstein. That shit was never going to fucking happen. It's, I don't know, like, over? I don't even know, like, what else to say. Like, it's just over. Like, this is going to be, like, irreparable fucking damage. Near irreparable damage. I don't know if it's irreparable or not. Like, this is, like, such a bad look for them. It's insane just, like, how ridiculous of a situation that we kind of find ourselves in here. But, like, you guys are, like, shocked and dismayed and surprised that one of the people who, you know, partied with Jeffrey Epstein himself, called him one of his closest fucking friends for 10 years, and you guys are shocked that, again, he was going to be implicated in these files and he's going to try to do a cover-up for as long as possible so he doesn't get, like, completely owned, potentially, like, go to jail for it or something. Like, come on, dude. Like, for real? You people are surprised by this. And you want to say, like Democrats are, like, the bigger fucking pedophiles in comparison to the Republicans. Like, come on, man. Like, come on. there's like, I don't know, like what else is there to really fucking say here, to be honest? Like it's just, it's crazy. Like, fell for it again award. Donald Trump is crashing out. Like now we're starting to actually see the potential administration seeing consequences because of this. It's just, I don't know. Like, I'm just gonna sit back here, get my popcorn, and be like, oh, this is gonna be good, and just like, I don't know, watch it all just burn down around us at this point. Like, fuck it. Might as well enjoy it as the fireworks go off in the distance.